Hello, everyone, and welcome to the I Am Symposium Winter Solstice Fire Tenders Gathering. And a fan favorite and one of my favorite people is going to share her wisdom right now. Her name is Sandra Ingerman, and I'm sure you all know her. She's been teaching shamanism for 40 years, and she's probably most one of the beloved teachers of all history. When she says she's going to have a course, hundreds of people show up. And so we're really fortunate to have her at this symposium every year. She is got a new book coming out in January or February, but it's available for pre-order right now. It's called Walking Through Darkness, a nature-based path to navigating suffering and loss. And one of the things that I love most about Sandra as a teacher is that, she walks her talk. And we do the Shaman's Cave together. We're entering our sixth year. It's unbelievable. And because we get to sit and talk to each other, every other week when we record, I know that she is a woman of integrity and she does walk this journey. And it's not always easy. It's not always, lilies and tadpoles. It's a hard walk because that's what a spiritual path is all about. It's about getting the tools you need, not only for the great bright days, but also for the days that are a little bit more challenging and a little bit harder to grasp. And so it's with my great honor and privilege to be sitting here with you again at this fire. Thank you.
Thanks, Renee. Yeah, it's always good to be sitting around a fire, especially at this time on the planet. And so I did want to talk about walking through darkness, not about my book, but about the process of walking through darkness. And this is a really interesting time for us. And in all the presentations that I've been doing, I've been talking about that this is a time of true dismemberment. I mean, true dismemberment. And in shamanism, dismemberment is such an important process. It is such an important process because it's how we grow and how we evolve. And so what happens? Well, last night I had a dismemberment dream, and I went up to the sun, and the sun burnt me up, and I landed back on Earth just as dust. And when you're just dust on Earth, you have no ego, you have no thoughts, you're just part of the Earth. You're literally part of the Earth. You return to a state of oneness. And really, that's what dismemberment is all about. And that's what we're going through as a collective. Individually, I flooded with correspondence from people who are going through these unbelievable initiations, mostly around their health. And I don't have to talk about the news and the collective. We know what's going on there. And so what we don't understand is why this is happening. It's really a potent time. This is an unbelievably potent time. And we chose to come in here for this unbelievably potent time. And I don't know, it's like one of my colleagues said, did I come in here to this time to actually get every single lesson I've never gotten in all of my past lives? And I think some of us are wondering about that, of how much is coming at us of things that aren't working in our lives, things that are dissolving in our lives, things that are dissolving in the collective, things that are dissolving in society. And all of this is rough. It's rough on us as these bodies that want safety. Of course, we're always looking for safety. Our ego and our mind are always trying to figure out, who can I blame? How can I find a way to feel safe? And the process of dismemberment that we're going through right now is actually to make us feel unsafe. It's about stripping away of the ego, stripping away of the mind, because the ego in the mind actually has no idea of how to move us forward right now. The ego in our mind doesn't know. I mean, does your ego give you good information about what you should be doing right now? And so we're in this process that we can call dismemberment, the dark night of the soul, where we're in a place of darkness. We can't see around us. We, as humans, as egoic humans, we don't have the big perspective. Now, the spirits have the big perspective. And so, those of you who journey and work with helping spirits, this is the time to really be trying to understand the grand perspective of where we're going and where this is all leading us to. Because as our ego is stripped away, what's left? What's left is our soul, and what's left is our spirit, and our spirit is eternal. It just keeps going on. And our soul is also eternal. It keeps going on, and it keeps getting lessons, and it keeps growing, and it keeps evolving. And our spirit is that part of us that is the reflection of Source. So Source is above the creative forces of the universe, God, the goddesses, whatever you believe in. You were born from Source. You were born from the creative forces of the universe. So you are actually a reflection of that Source. And so when you can drop into spirit, when your ego dissolves and gets stripped away, and when your mind goes, oh my God, I don't know what to do next, I'm just going to sit down in the darkness, which is not what we want to do. We want to keep moving forward. And so the key in all initiation, and we can learn this from shamans for centuries and centuries, because the dismemberment process, the initiation process, is one of the most important processes that we go through in life, and indigenous cultures know that, in that how we actually can come into our authentic being, our true creative nature, how we came here to serve, is through allowing our spirit to shine, and allowing our spirit to move us, and allowing our spirit to direct us. And so the time that we're in right now of walking through the dark night of the soul is about stripping away our past, stripping away our thoughts, stripping away our blame, our judgment, and remembering that we are a reflection of Source, and what that means, because we were created from love from Source, that the more we can love ourselves, and the more that we can tap into our self-worth, and what was our passion about coming into this lifetime to create. When we remember that, when we let go of the social conditioning, when we keep moving forward and letting go of the burdens of the past and all the weight that we're carrying on our shoulders, we remember who we are. And we remember how we got a little bit brainwashed by society to be different beings than we came in here to be, what our destiny was, what our passion was, what our soul really wanted to manifest. And so the key to walking through the dark night of the soul, and where we are right now, is by doing practices that get us in touch with our spirit, our own light, and doing our practices that help us to let go of the past and help us to stay in the present moment. And when we do that, our spirit gets strong enough so that we don't sit down in the dark, but we keep moving forward. And so in my life, I've been through a lot of initiations. They started really, really young for me as I got called to the practice of shamanism, but was living in a culture that I wasn't educated to what all the calls I was getting were meaning. And so throughout my life, I've gone through a lot of struggles, a lot of losses, but they've always brought me to this amazing place of growth, more gifts to do my shamanic work, more gifts to be in service to the planet. But 9 years ago, I really got struck down in initiation and ended up with a physical disorder that has been really difficult for me to live with. But what it keeps doing is it keeps making me surrender, and it keeps helping me learn the roadmap of how do we get through the darkness. Because back in the old days, back in indigenous cultures, back in Western cultures, when there was more of the nuclear family, we had our elders, we had grandparents who gave us the roadmap. This is what happens when times get dark. This is what happens when times get really tough. This is the first step. This is what you have to do. So we used to have all these stories from elders about how to walk through the dark. And so what I decided to do was to really look at what was the roadmap that I used, because the metaphor I used is all of a sudden I felt like I was thrown out of an airplane at 30,000 feet and with no flashlight, no map, no tools, nothing, just me and my spirit to walk through these dark times. And one of the things that I found is uh, I could talk about this for hours, but I want to give you something to really work with. If you're feeling that you're in a place of darkness and you don't understand where the collective is at, and you're getting so confused by reading the news, you're getting so upset by reading the news, what I found is that the biggest error I made while walking through the darkness was turning to too many different authority figures, too many healers, too many psychics, reading too much news, too many medical studies, too many doctors. You know, I did the whole thing, and I know many of you who are listening have done this too. But where I keep coming back to is that we're all born with all the information in our soul about how to heal. It's like plants have a DNA, they have a map inside of them of how to grow in a healthy way. The same for trees, the same for animals, the same for birds, the same for humans. We actually were born with all the information of how to bring ourselves back into balance when we've lost our balance. But what that means is we have to stop listening to other people. We have to get into a silent place. We have to get into a place where we can listen to ourselves. And if you have too many distractions, social media, the news, too much noise going on, listening to too many webinars, listening to just too many people talking, all of a sudden we don't have our own voice anymore. We're hearing other people's quotes, we're hearing other people's advice, but what about the advice that we came in here to share? You came in here to share. You came in here to serve in a very, very unique way. One way we can call it is you came in with a particular energetic signature to be able to share. And so everybody has a place in the web of life, and it's all unique, and we depend on the gift that you came in here, that you were born to express. And so we can't do that if we're listening to others. We really have to go in, we really have to find those quiet spaces. It's a really important thing for us to do. And so the Egyptian goddess is a helping spirit for me. And she's given me a practice recently that has really, really helped me um, to quiet the distractions, to let go of all the other voices. And what she's asked me to do is number one, she said that what's happening to me at this particular time is that my past has moved into my present and is affecting, it's impacting me, it's impacting my body. And so she said, no matter how bad things are, just let go of the past, let go of the past and move present. It's a very easy thing to say, but she helped me with this. She would direct me with this, and she would say, "What are you thinking right now?" And I'd say something that I was thinking about 5 seconds ago, and she'd go, "No, I want to hear what you're thinking about this second." And so she keeps bringing me back to what I'm feeling at the second, whether it's fear, instability, um, um, uh, some kind of emotion that I'm feeling, especially around my body or around reading a news story. And what I found is if I can stay in present second, that energy transforms. And all of a sudden, I feel myself dropping a little bit deeper because I'm not on the surface anymore. That was a surface emotion. What is my soul trying to express? So when I can stay in the second and I say, I'm feeling fear, I'm feeling a lot of chaotic emotions of what I'm reading about in the news. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to believe. I don't know if I'm ever going to heal, what's going to happen to the planet, all those things. When I stay in absolute present second about that, I can drop in and all of a sudden find a place of stability and center, and I can start to hear my soul speak to me, and I can start to feel the light of my spirit starting to grow inside of me because I've let go of how I'm covering up that light. We all cover up that light. But if you put on some music, put on some nice music and lay in bed and imagine yourself taking off the robe of your body. We're just, we put on these robes to play a particular part in life. So imagine taking off the robe of your body and all of a sudden you're immersed in the most brilliant light. It's an inhuman light. You don't even know what dimension it is, but it's you. And when you really get that that's you, and you really feel it and absorb it into every single cell of your body, that is you. And you know it, and you can't go back anymore. You can only keep moving forward with how do I keep letting go of the darkness? How do I keep letting go of the darkness and letting more light in? And we do that by staying really present with any emotion that's coming up, allowing ourselves through experiencing that emotion for it to transform in a really natural process. And so, a real key to walking through these times is number one, not sitting down in the dark. The only way out is through. That's been the biggest lesson of every initiation I've ever been in. The only way out is through, so you have to get through it. And as you stay present and as you really tap into the light of your spirit that you can rely on right now, it knows everything. It can completely move you forward into another place of evolution and growth. And that is the point of what we're going through right now. We're remembering that we came here to experience the unconditional love of Source, who created us from a place of unconditional love, and that there is no separation. Everything in this world is just one. There is no separation. So if you've ever been through a dismemberment experience, and if you feel like you're being dismembered now, you can't really see a difference between you and anything else, because we're all being ground to dust right now to be remembered so that we can create a new story. And so I just want to share an exercise around creating a new story, because I think that's where we're all moving to, depending on where we are in our own process. Um, the story of life, as we know, when we look at what's happening on the planet, this is a play. We're playing roles. A play is going on that needs to change. The curtains need to come down. A new play needs to be written, and a new curtain come up with new players, which is all of us in our light. And we have the ability, because we are a reflection of Source, we have the ability to create a new story, to create a new life play that impacts us personally and impacts all of life. And so the key in working in this way is using our God-given gift, our goddess-given gift of imagination. Imagination creates our reality. Imagination is creating this play right now, because our ego and our mind is just in imagining our world over and over and over again. So are you imagining the worst of life? Are you imagining the best of life? What are you imagining? What are you working on right now? What's the story that you're creating? And so I like to work in the way that a mystic by the name of Neville Goddard works. And one of the ways that he works is he says, see yourself in a room, being in a room, and you're not happy in this room. And so you use your imagination to imagine yourself stepping out of this room and stepping into the dream that you want to be dreaming for yourself. And so I thought that what I do is kind of give us a little boost in this particular work. And so in this work, I'm going to do just a really short drumming, and we're going to do an exercise that will end this particular presentation. And it's about seeing with your non-ordinary eyes, hearing with your non-ordinary ears, really feeling in your body, tasting, smelling the world that you want to be living in for yourself, and the world that you want to see other beings live in, what we want to see nature beings living in, what we want to see other humans and children living in. What's the best of life? What's one act of a new play that you can step into a room and you can see yourself living out? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my drum, and it's going to be a short journey, but it's going to be something that you can continue on your own, using your non-ordinary senses to keep imagining a new act of a play. Let's not see the whole play in itself. Let's take an act of the play. So you want to imagine yourself living the world, living the life that you want to experience for yourself and the rest of the collective, and all in the web of life. And so we're going to start with just a little bit of preparation work just to get us going. And then I'm going to actually guide you in this. And what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to actually have you jump off a cliff into a new act of a play that you want to be living out right now. And as you step into that room, you end up creating this amazing connection with the creative forces of the universe, which will work with you to help manifest your dream in the best way for yourself and for all of life. So we'll start with just a little bit of preparation work. So let's start in the room that you're in right now, and close your eyes and put your hands on your heart. And allow yourself to feel how you're feeling right this second. And as you do that, imagine the unconditional love that the Creator created you with. And allow yourself to feel that in your heart. I know in the shamanic community, feeling self-love and self-worth is a little tough. But it's the key to our healing right now. If you don't love yourself and if you don't feel good enough to serve and be a hollow bone and bring through the light and bring through the love, how successful will your work be? So let's use our imaginations to just imagine ourselves feeling a deep sense of love for ourselves, self-worth, that we came here. We came here to bring beauty and magic into this world. We came here to appreciate the beauty of nature and all that earth, air, water, fire provides for us in our life. The sun, the moon, and the stars. We came here to understand that there's only one. We are connected to everything. For we are the sun, we are the moon, we are the stars, we are the earth, we are air, we are fire, we are water. And as we love life, we must love ourselves. And so with a feeling of love that you can muster right now, stand up and walk towards your door of your house or apartment and watch as it shape shifts into a mist or a fog that you just step through, and it leads you into the unseen worlds where you start to walk up this path in nature, this really beautiful path, feeling hearts coming out of the soles of your feet, connecting with the heartbeat of the earth. The earth is billions of years old. Feel yourself connecting with her heartbeat, sending love to her and receiving her love, coming up through the soles of your feet, and absorb it. Look at with wonder and awe all the beauty around you, the colors, how it feels to walk through this magical landscape. The sounds of nature, the sounds of birds and other animals. And as you walk, you notice that you're coming to a meadow. And keep walking through the meadow. It's a beautiful day, the sun is shining, the grass is blowing around you, touching you, sharing its love, cheering you on. As you walk to the edge of the meadow, you find yourself at a cliff. And now, I ask you to jump off the cliff into the room of the dream that you would like to dream for yourself and for the world right now. And I'll drum for you as you experience yourself seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, smelling, using all your senses to really embrace. What do you hear? Do you hear children laughing? Do you smell clean air? Do you feel joy in your heart? What does this part of the play look like that you would like to step into next? For whatever role, whatever part you want to play is part of the grand dance that is going on right now as the old stories end and the new story is born. And so I'm going to bring you back for now so that we can end grounded. But I'd like to ask you to continue this work on your own. So for now, just imagine yourself being transported. Use your imagination. You're being transported back to the meadow, back to the beautiful place in nature. The beautiful road, the beautiful path you walked. And we walk this path back, feeling joy in our hearts, a lightness in our step, and light and love flowing out of our hands, our hearts. And we come back to the fog, and we step back into our room. And we start to feel ourselves grounded. Feel some deep roots coming out of your feet, your arms reaching up to the sky. You are the bridge between heaven and earth, and that bridge is through your heart. So imagine ourselves as a whole collective standing and being that bridge right now. And we're all shining that brilliant light. We're all emanating so much love. That light and love connects us to each other and connects us to our authentic self and connects us to the beauty of life. Life always finds a way. Life always finds a way to thrive. Your spirit knows the way. Your imagination knows the way. Your intuition knows the way. Trust them now, have faith, and use them. And learn how to stay in the present moment. And you too will be transformed into the being. You came here with passion, knowing the being that you are. So our work ends for now, but please continue it in your own time. Welcome back, everybody, and I'll just welcome you back with my little fairy bells. So, yes, we're going through a dismemberment process. Yes, we're dissolving, but what's dissolving? Our ego is dissolving, our thoughts and how we're thinking about life is. But as we do our spiritual practices, as we trust our intuition, as we walk through the darkness, our intuition, our spirit, and the knowledge of our soul is the flashlight, is the biggest flashlight we have to walk through the darkness and back into the light. And so I just want to say thank you to everyone for the brilliant work that you're doing. I know everybody's working so hard right now to be in service. And I just want to send my blessings to all of you and wish you the most beautiful solstice. So thank you.